Hello, bonjour. I want to welcome you here to the July 2023 tutorial bundle. My name is Denise Willerton. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in East St. Paul, Manitoba, Canada. If you do not have a demonstrator, I would be so happy to help you with your Stampin' Up needs. Just drop me a line and let me know how I can help you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Now let's get on to today's card. This is the beautiful card that I'm going to show you. I've seen a few of these kicking around. It's called a joy or a diagonal joy fold card. Okay, so let's get to that. I forget who it was that I saw. I think it was Tammy White. But I know that there are other ones out there as well. And I totally forgot my cheat sheet. So let's see if I can do this by memory. You're going to grab a standard card base, which is, oh, I've got a little bit of a cheat sheet right here, 8.5 by 11. You're going to score at 5.5, which is your, or you're going to score at 4.25, sorry, which is your halfway mark. So we are 8.5 by 5.5. We're scoring at 4.25. Okay, let's give that a really nice burnish. I like to put my corners together. Sometimes I use my my straight line here just to kind of push both ends up to make sure I've got my two corners together. And let's give that a burnish. I'm going to show you a few of my favorite little tips and tricks along the way. Now, this is our card base, and we want to cut that at a diagonal. And we know we want the larger portion here at the bottom. You want to make sure that your card is opened the proper way. I'm going to put this score line and this tip in my track. You want to make sure that this is not hanging over the edge because you don't want that to accidentally fold. So I've got my score line in my track, and I'm just going to swing that around and make sure, let's get into focus here, make sure that our tip is in there as well as our score line. So I'm going to take another little peek. I'm good. Make sure you grab your cut blade and just give that a cut. Now there's a piece of scrap for your sentiment or some of the flowers that you're going to need. I have pre-die cut everything that I need. So here is our card base. Let's start building that. Okay, so you're going to grab a piece of Flirty Flamingo, which is the colors that I've used, or you're just going to substitute that with whatever color that you're using. So you're going to cut 2 of these, and that measures 4 by 5.25. Okay, one of them is going right here. The other one is going to go on your front flap, but we need to cut that. Okay, so let's do, I keep hitting my lights, I'm sorry. Let's do that same thing. We're going to put one corner in our track and the other corner in our track. Take a peek, make sure you're good. And sometimes the blade gets hung up if you're swiping up or down when you're doing something like this. So what you can do is you can bring your cut blade in the center and just go up and then down. And now you've got 2 pieces, and we just need one. So here's another piece of scrap. So while you're at it, make 2 cards, which is what I do all the time. Now we're going to grab our design paper, one of our design papers, and I'm going to use this one. This is from the Hello Irresistible. That's going to go on the inside of my card. This one here is going to go on the outside of my card. Now, this portion is quite important because I did do it. You want to make sure that you're cutting this design paper the right way. So if I went from this corner to this corner, this will not work, okay? So this is the triangle that I am following. So I know I want this corner and that corner in there so that I've got this larger portion that's going to sit along the bottom of my cardstock mat, okay? So same thing, corner to corner. And as you can see, you're ready for 2 cards because we only need a portion of it. So there, set that aside for another card, and it is going to lie the proper way, okay? So this is our card front. Let's go right ahead here and let's work on the flap. So this portion here, okay? I think I'm done with this. We're going to grab a piece of Flirty Flamingo or whatever color you're using, and this measures 8 by 3, and we're going to score at 4 inches. This is 8, so our middle is score. And I've got a little mark here, but I'm going to be able to hide that. So we're scoring at 4 inches. Make sure you use your score blade. I like to mark mine with a Sharpie, and it says score. And then what I did was I took clear nail polish, and I put clear nail polish on that for overnight. And then in the morning, I was good to go. So we're going to give that a good burnish. This is our flap, and there's that little mark. I'm not worried because I am going to be covering that up, okay? I've got a piece of basic white, and this measures 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. That is going to go down here. You're cutting 2. That's going down here on your card front or your flap front. And this one is going here for your sentiment for the inside of your flap. I've got a piece of Flirty Flamingo, and this measures 2.5 by 3.5, and I actually ran that through the fern embossing folder just to give it a little bit of depth, okay, like so. And then what I did was I went ahead and I die cut. We're going to fix this all up in a moment. I went ahead and I die cut all of my pieces that I need for my flower, okay? Now I have these little magnetic bowls that I like to keep my dies in, and you can pick that up at an automotive store. Here in Winnipeg, I picked this up at Princess Auto. So I've got this round one, and I also have a rectangle one that I keep over at my my cut and emboss machine site. So this beautiful die cuts the whole thing out, okay? So here we go. There's our image for our front. You can keep that. I am choosing to cut it off, and you can always use it for something else, or you can just trash it, okay? You want to make sure that all these little bits have come out, and they haven't. So we're just going to give them a little poke like so. And I guess I could have cleaned that up before the video. And sometimes they're stuck on the back, so you want to make sure that you've got them all out. So I just poke them through, and then I gently rub with my nail on the back end just to get them all off. So they're all poked through, and some of them pop back up or back in. Let's get that all cleaned off, and we're good. So now that is totally empty, all those little holes. Okay, so that's one. Then these are the outlines into my little magnetic bowl so I don't lose any of my dies. So that is another one. And this was just 2 pieces of scrap that were like 3 inches by 4 1/4. We all have scrap, don't we? So here are, let's get all these little bits out of the way. Here are the 3 large images of like the full image from the dies, and there's the 3rd one. Now this one here, 1, 2, 3, these are kind of the more detailed dies. Let's put that in our little tray. So there they all are, and they're not going anywhere, which is wonderful. So, whoops, I am so sorry. I need to watch what I'm doing. Now, I did put on this one here, I did put adhesive backing on it. Now, Stampin' Up! Does not carry the one with the writing anymore, but when they were discontinuing that several years ago, I freaked out because I use my adhesive sheets a lot, and I probably ordered like 50 packs. So I'm still working on that. And then they came up with their own that doesn't have the writing on the back. So I apologize for that. Let's get all of those little pieces out. Okay, so here we go. Let's make sure, mind you, that's gonna probably all come out when I get to finishing my card. But in the meantime, let's just take them out. And you know what? I forgot to put my phone on silent mode. So pardon me while I do that right now. I don't want anybody calling me. There we go. Okay. So now we've got all of our little flower pieces. And where did I put my silicone mat? It's probably over there because I'm getting ready for a class. So there's the Fern 3D embossing folder. Let's set that aside. We're done with that. These are the cheerful dies. Let's set that aside. Now, when I die cut my my images with my dies using my cut and emboss machine, you know how sometimes you get little pieces stuck on there? I take an old Starbucks card or a retired Visa card, whatever, and this cleans your mat off just beautifully. So I always keep a few over at my cut and emboss machine in a little tray that I have there with little extra pieces. Okay, let's put this together. So we'll start with that. Let's grab, oh, I need my silicone mat. I'm such a silicone mat girl. But let's grab a piece of scrap instead for now. We're going to get our adhesive behind your smaller piece. Oh, brand new. It hasn't been opened yet. Many little squirrel moments here. Brand new one, so it's coming out quite generously at first. We're just going to eyeball center, like so. And let's do the inside. I am a Tombow girl. Now you can, if you wanted to put a little something on this little flap, I would advise you to do it now rather than later. So let's just grab these little beauties from the Cheerful Daisies. Okay, that's just the little cluster of flowers. And we'll grab our Flirty Flamingo. And I would put this little image on my envelope as well. No naked envelopes and no naked insides either. Let's get that away from my stamp pad and just go straight down. I like to hold it for a moment. There's our flowers. I will repeat that for my envelope, but I'm not going to worry about it now. So now that I've got that stamping on there, I'm not worried about placing this on my card. This is going to go on here, but I want to build that first. Let's get our card together. So our one piece of Flirty Flamingo and our design paper, whatever design paper you choose. Now, when you purchase the Stampin' Up! Design paper, on the back, on a kind of a heavier piece of cardstock or paper, are all the names of the colors, okay? So that's how I arrive at what color I'm going to be using. Let's get this on the inside of our card. And we're just eyeballing center. Like so. There's the front of our card. Let's put this together. And you can now see the importance of making sure that you cut that properly. With your cardstock, it doesn't matter, but with your design paper, it does. If you are using a design paper that is directional, make sure you're paying attention to that before you cut, because you will waste your beautiful design paper. So we're just eyeballing center on this triangle piece, and that can go straight down onto our card front. Normally I'm working all of this on my silicone mat, but I didn't want to go searching for it. Come on. There we go. And let's just place that like so. Okay, so our card base is complete. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. Okay, let's get on to our flowers. Here's the exciting part. So here are the pieces with the little holes. Here are the full-on pieces. And here are, oh, please tell me I have 3, because I need 3. Where did that other one go? Did I accidentally trash it? Here it is. Found it. Okay, so we are going to imagine that we are putting this together. And this guy here is going to sit on the card like so. Now I want to put some color onto these kind of dotted areas, okay? So let's grab that, and let's grab, you've got little kind of dotty things. I'm going to grab the bigger one. That'll work. That might be a little big. So we're gonna grab the big one and the little one. Okay, so we're gonna do that twice. Grab your grab your Daffodil Delight, not your Flirty Flamingo. Grab your Daffodil Delight. Let's pick up some color. And let's go down on there like so. I put that down the wrong way. I totally inked the solid side. But as you can see, it won't matter because it's going to get covered My goodness, I put it upside down on my block. Has anybody else ever done that? Or am I the first? So now let's make sure we put the solid side down. And you know, crazy thing is, I had a feeling I did that and I should have double checked. So we're just finding those dots and inking up where they are, like so. Okay, now if you want a fuller coverage, kind of like that, you can use the underside of this as well. Okay, or you could use a sponge dauber, that would work too. Okay, gotta love it when you're doing a live. I hope I'm not the only one, but you know what? We carry on. We just carry on. Okay, let's build that. Let's close that first. And I like to figure out which way this goes first before I put my adhesive on, okay? So I'm going to put adhesive on this piece, not the solid, and I'm just, if my ink or my glue is going to come out, there we go. I am just putting little dots in each area. Let's pick that up. We're going to flip it over, and I had already determined where it fit. So that's going to go like so. Now this one here is very easy to figure out. With the larger one, all you're going to do is you're just going to kind of spin it around until you see where it goes. My glue is being silly. I don't want any oozing out. If you ever feel like you have actually put too much glue on, all you need to do is ignore it and let it sit for a bit, and it'll dry enough for you that it's not going to ooze. Okay, so I'm going to take advantage of my wiggle room and just pull that in just a smidge. There we go. And now this last one, let's see where that fits. I've got, see these two little, looks like a little beak? It's going to go right there. Do you see that? So I've got these two that are connected, and I've got that little beak right there, like so. Okay? So let's get some little dots. Come on, Tombo, be nice to me. There we go. I'm just very gently squeezing, like so. So again, I'm looking for this here and that there. Ah, I did not do it. Gotta love doing lives when you botch it up. Come on, baby, work with me. There we go. There it is. There it is. Just give that a little twist. And that a little twist. Okay, so we are building our flower. Now, these ones are going to go on top. Okay, so I just want to first determine which way this goes, and that goes this way. So this kind of little area right here are this area there. So let's get our adhesive back off. Come on. Sometimes I just gently dig in. And if you're finding that you're having a hard time getting it off, what you want to do is you want to give it a really good burnish, and that helps too, which I failed to do. So I'm actually getting my fingers all over this, which is not part of the plan. Almost there. Come on, little guy. There we go. Okay. So again, you want to find where that fit, and it's right there. Now, if I would not have inked up that center, it would look a tinge different. Let's give this a good burnish. And then we're going to just gently dig kind of sideways and get that started. There we go. Now, if you don't want to use adhesive sheets, all you're going to do is you're going to very gently put little dots on some of the petals and then take advantage of your wiggle room. But I love adhesive sheets. I just do. And I forgot to take a look before I did this, which way this one goes. I think I've got my longer petals down here. And that one goes right like that. And this one here is very obvious. Getting there. I love this bundle. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Or if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, I would love to help you with that. So this guy here is just going to go down like so. So we have built our flowers. Okay, we're going to put dimensionals behind that. And I want some large dimensionals. Sorry, I'm usually working on my silicone mat where you can see a little more what I'm doing. And you know what? I want a little guy in the middle because I don't want my flower caving in. And the rest of these, I think I can just use minis. So I just like to cut them up and away I go. Let's put that one there. Now let's grab some of those minis that I cut up. I kind of go in a triangle, and every now and then if I feel like I need a little more, I just add a little more. Let's bring this in. So there's our little front flap. There's our panel that we put together, but haven't done a thing with it yet. I'm just removing my backing of all of my dimensionals, and there's a few. I'm a fan of dimensionals. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab a piece of scrap paper and we're going to get our leaves together. So let's put that on there however it is that you want. And keep in mind when you're putting your dimensionals on, if you are going to have an overhang, that you don't want the dimensionals hanging over. Okay, so here's another little piece of scrap. Let's grab from the Cheerful Daisies. Let's grab that single leaf. There is a die for it. I'm just going to fussy cut it. I don't mind fussy cutting at all. And I actually want to stamp 6 of these because I want them in clusters of 2. Let's put this on our foam mat because this is photopolymer. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And I guess I could have done that ahead of time. Never even occurred to me. Now this is the piece that has the adhesive sheet on the back. It does not have to be. You can put a little dot of Tombow, or if you want, you could even just grab a mini glue dot or a mini dimensional and tuck that in where you want. So I am just going to quickly cut these. And again, I want them in a cluster of 2. So if I remove this backing, if it behaves, come on, baby. It's not behaving. Okay, I got that off. We can just tuck that right over top of this. Let's remove that one, and we can just tuck that in wherever we want, and I'm going to place it right there. Now keep in mind this has the adhesive dots or the adhesive sheet behind it, so you want to make sure that you're kind of not hanging over because it will stick everywhere. So not really the best idea to have used this piece of scrap, but it's still going to work. Let's get that off. When I fussy cut, I twist my paper. I let my scissors do the work, and I just turn my paper as I cut. And you can go as close to the image or as far as you would like. That's a little far. I can't wait to get outside. It's a beautiful day. I want to water my flower gardens. I'm a gardener, so whenever Stampin' Up! Comes out with new flowers, I'm usually a sucker for new flowers. I have a lot of flowers and a lot of die cuts. Okay, trash. Let's get this backing off. See how I kind of dig in sideways? Don't know if there's a better way, but for me, that's what works. Get that off. Ah. Okay, it just wants to hang with me. That's okay. Let's connect these 2 together at the points, and let's tuck that under this daisy. Get that one off. These ones are a little easier because they're just a little piece of adhesive backing, which is kind of lovely. Let's get those 2 connected, and let's tuck that under, let's go here. I want to, oh, there was adhesive backing there. Let's just tuck that in a little tighter. Now we've got our sentiment, which I pre-did. If I can find it, there it is. So this sentiment came from the Timeless arrangement. I grabbed the thank you right there. And I also grabbed this die cut to cut it. Now on my original card, what I did was I used this die from Sending, and I used You Made My Day from Cheerful Daisies. Okay, so that's what I did on my original card. I love this die cut. Do you see the little, I don't know if you can really see it. There's little X's right there. Let's put a dimensional behind that, keeping in mind if we're going to hang over that we don't want a dimensional close to that edge if we're going to hang over, which you totally can. So I'm going to stay away from that area. Let's go right there, there, and one more. Whoops, it's not cut. And there. So let's remove that backing. My desk is a hot mess. So right here, we don't have anything. So again, if I hang over a little bit, it won't matter. You could put a little piece of twine or whatever you want as your embellishment. I am grabbing the beautiful brass butterflies. I'm a fan, very much a fan. We're going to put one there. Let's put one right here. Why not? And our third one, whoops, butterfly keeps flying away on me. Let's put that little guy right there. So sweet. Let's get some adhesive behind there. Like so. And then we're going to put that on our front flap. And we're eyeballing center. Like so. Now the back, we're going to put our adhesive. Whatever your adhesive of choice is. Why is that hard to say? And what we're going to do now is on the inside of our card, we are going to eyeball center. Like so. Whoops. And your card is complete. How about that? I hope you recreate this. Please drop me a line if you do. I would love to see your creation. There are so many possibilities with this beautiful, beautiful layout and fun fold. You could use the, well, the possibilities are endless. The what is it called? The ice cream cone, all of that. Anyway, I am going to be doing more of these. I love this. It is so fun, and I can't wait to teach it. I can't wait to see what you do with the diagonal joyfold card. Thank you so much for peeking in, and I hope you enjoyed your time here. Please take a look at all of the tutorials in this bundle. These girls are amazing, and drop them a comment or two. Drop me a comment. I would love to hear from you. We'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye now.